Now it's working. Okay. Hello everyone. I'm going to play the Stanley Parable. I've already started, but I'll start again. End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Here we are. In the office. Can't go on the computer. Right, should we do it? Should we venture out? Okay, let's go. 4 to 8. 4 to 9.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Why would you have that on a mug? That's interesting. Off we go to the meeting room then, huh? Or should we? Or should we disobey him like you're meant to do in this game, apparently? What's this? Great, it's great. Sorry about my webcam, guys. It's not the greatest. But hey, you deal with what you've got, huh? Be my Valentine. Interesting mugs around this place. What's this one? Who farted again? Really? 2 people have that same mug. Strange. It looks like a waiting input. 3 people have the who farted mug. Seriously, dudes? Okay, let's go. I hate Mondays. Fair enough. Here. Here. Fine, I won't go in there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Or did I now? Did I? I don't know about that. I'm gonna go to obey, disobey, obey, disobey, obey, disobey, obey, disobey. Fine, I'll obey him. Oh, a bit glitchy. Sorry about that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, let's read some stuff. There's a fly. Sorry. What do we got? Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. We have a whiteboard manager. And blah blah blah. What to do about 432? Okay. Boring. What's here? Targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Fire paper guy. What? Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets of the topic of what future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day's agenda, refleet. Okay. Looks like a slideshow. Criminal is a slideshow. Okay, this is really boring. Businessy stuff. Yeah. The broom closet. There's someone in there, isn't there?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Lol. As if I would do that. I want to find something awesome.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
There's so a reason. I know there is.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
Die,
At least if there
fly.
was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally
Sorry.
just standing there doing sweet FA.
Fine, fine, fine. Up or down? Down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're going down. This time we're disobeying. That's right.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. Consider the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. As Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors
Because it's an
close
FPS.
automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley
Yes.
said to himself, this is all too strange, this can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the heck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was it remaining so lucid?
happening.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
What?
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not seem to float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Hey.
This voice was a part of
Bitching.
himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What is happening?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
This is mad. This is crazy. What is even happening? End is never the end, is never the end. Thanks. It's not the end. Feels like the end. She just died. Unless... There you go. What are we going to do now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Screw that. You know what I'm doing? That's right.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
How do I get a drink? I want a drink.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yep, definitely.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That one? Oh, whoops, I missed it. Damn, too bad.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
But now, I'm gonna find something crazy. What's going on? Ooh, 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 ooh. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. $5,000. And death.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What you talking about?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? You want me to go through that, don't you? Well, screw that. I'm going to jump off the edge.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Let's try that again. Well, that was great. That was it's brilliant. Let's just do all the wrong things again.
All of his co-workers were
See how far it
gone.
gets us.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Going right.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open. This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Nope.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Danger everywhere.
That I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, really? What is it in the Matrix again? The red or the blue pill? That takes me to the Matrix. I think it's the red one. Well...
Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood.
Excuse me?
Stanley walked through the red door.
I walk through the blue door,
I
okay?
still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Fine, I walk through the blue door.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. If you want to know so badly what's out there, you want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen, well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me, you've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Should I? I kind of want to now. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. And now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1?
Yeah.
That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. What does that mean? Took 2 seconds to lose? Oh, I'm all the way down the bottom, huh? This is me. Thanks. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve your Stanley Cable career. How many doors open? Lots of doors open, close, endings achieved, blah 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 blah. Whereas 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% of players compete against others to improve your... I don't get it. A dead rat is offline. It's obviously not me. Fake! Going that way? That way again? Let's just go this way. Oh. Right,
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh dear. What's he done now? Loading, 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 loading.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Loud noises, you can just go die. Please. Bye-bye. Bye, baby.
You heartless bastard.
Yep.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Yep.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing.
Really?
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh dear. What are we going to do now? Did my webcam just freeze for a bit there? Sorry. It does that from time to time. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, of course.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where?
This will go here. No, here. And then...
Hello? What's he doing?
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon that work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy.
Hello?
Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
I love how accurate it is, except the green looks a bit wrong. Let's go to texture pack on or something. Man, even the sounds.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond every...
I love that I'm playing Minecraft, but actually playing the Stanley Parable. Or is it the other way around?
It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. You brought a light?
No, that's what you're meant to do. Pew, 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 pew. Accuracy, bro. It looks exactly like Minecraft, man.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
No! Ooh, I even had a zombie noise. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Good job. Applauding. Except you can't see me because my webcam's failing. Hello? If it's not failing and it just looks like it is, that probably looks really weird. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Yes.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
I love it too.
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Flush the toilet. Come on, bro. It's my portal gun. Yeah, portal gun, huh? Oh, you can just go straight through. Boss is not going to do anything like it. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
It's the greatest game ever.
Genius.
Just saying.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolution...
Ha! I didn't die. What's this? Beta. Stanley Parable Alpha Test. Interesting. I've made my way out of the game. Not really. It's all part of it, man. Right, so here we're going through here. Or not. Maybe not. Maybe we... It's not even narrating anymore. It's the dark, I can't see anything. What happened? Oh. Okay. This place is so dark. I might need to turn up my brightness. It's not working. It's probably as high as it goes. Okay. Let's find out where we are. Where can we go, huh? Mate? Ooh, there's a light over there. Maybe I'll check it out. What we got? Mm-hmm. Uh, I don't understand what I'm doing. We'll go through. Nope, can't go through there. Whoa, what happened?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Really?
I can wait.
Really? Is that what you think? The end is never the end is never the end. That means I've died. And I'm starting again. Okay, one more time. I'm going to follow these directions. Every direction. There's something in my eye. Ow. Come on. Here we are. Let's do it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okie dokie. This reminds me of Stranger Than Fiction. That movie with Will Ferrell. It's a good movie.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
Gives
wave
for
of
not getting
disbelief,
fired.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
All the time,
office,
every day.
hoping he might find an answer there.
Get a ball up inside of you. Resent co-workers for not supporting you more. Take it out passive-aggressively on other co-workers. Okay. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel in all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive okay. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Makes no sense. I'm going.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boss's off. Glitching. I don't know if you can hear that. Most likely. Ooh, pretty. Why is it so pretty? It is very pretty here. Which way do I go? Is it this? Oh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known, but the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Ooh.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
8 4.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh, it was behind the fireplace. Of course. Of course it was. Ooh, is the button? Pressing the button now. Going down the lift. 0 FPS right now. That's why my face is frozen. Sorry about that. It's really awkward when it just freezes in a random face.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Dan walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh dear. That doesn't sound so good. Whoa! Whoa! Dude. Nope. We promised we were gonna follow his every direction this time. Numbers. Any numbers? Can't read them. I'm gonna press the button. Didn't tell me to. But oh well.
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did it take strength to find out?
Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Continuing. Oh. What was it, me? 4-7 something? Oh no. Fired.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Where? How do I? What? How? Where do? What? What? How? The big button. Nope, that did nothing. Nope. Okay. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Dun 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 dun.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yes. Obey. Yes. Are we can? Did we win? Oh, oh, oh! The credits. There's gonna be credits.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Nope.
Was it over?
Was it? No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to live. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to act. Whatever life is, it will be his.
This is amazing.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing. Stanley felt the cold breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yes.
And Stanley was happy.
Yes. What a conclusion. Right. Winning. I just won. I just beat the game. That's right. I think that's all. It's going to put me at the start again. And I'm just going to be like, nope, we're done for the day. But I'll be back. Don't you worry. Maybe with another game. Who knows? Just trying this stuff out. But thanks for watching. Goodbye for now. Not forever. I'll be back. Bye. Again. See you later. Control Tab.